Welcome back to the CryptoLabs YouTube channel. Let's talk about leveraged yield farming, shorting, longing, neutral strategies. What is all this? People have been asking me, and a really quick disclaimer is you can make a lot of money taking on leverage, and you can also lose a lot of money. You have to know what you're doing. I wouldn't do this if you don't know what you're doing. I personally made a ton of money off the strategy. And I'll kind of explain my process through this. I had around just over $4,000 on ExtraFi, maybe about 5 weeks ago. It's now worth over or pretty dang near close $20,000, and it's making me $219 on ExtraFi. I did take on leverage and I did take on long positions, and I was extremely bullish on the market at that point. A bunch of news around Aero was coming out. I knew overnight finance would do well because of it, and I knew Extra itself would do well because of it. I took a long position leveraged at 3x, and all that means is I had $4,000, but I was able to get exposure, basically $12,000 of exposure. And when that position doubled, I doubled on the 12,000. I had to pay back a small loan, and then I was able to keep the rest of the profits. Now, if I would have been wrong, I would have lost money just as quickly as I was making it, which is why you can go long, you can go short, or you can go neutral. We're going to talk about all that. Plus, by the way, you may see, like if I want to take on leverage here on Wrapped ETH USDC, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments, because I'm happy to dive into this a little deeper. I'm able to take up to 4x leverage because I have over 10,000 extra tokens staked, which, by the way, many of them I got for free because I've been lending out stablecoin on here. Now there's not that much because I have most of it deployed, but I was making sometimes 15%. In the past, you can make almost 50% more on your when you lent out stablecoin. Look at this, 238% on USD plus. I need to definitely beef up this position. I might sell all this and move it all over here and make 238% on USD plus, which is a stablecoin. Insane. And so a lot of this, I have 10,000 extra tokens here also lent out. A lot of that was free. I also took 10,000 of them and I staked them at 164%, but that also gives me special perks on this platform, which again, I've been bullish on for a long time. We've been talking about it for literally months, and it started showing up on our investor reports maybe 5-6 weeks ago and on YouTube a few weeks ago. But if I go back 5 weeks ago, you can see my positions here. I still had some leverage on USDC Aero, but I was paying back some of these loans. And as of this screenshot, I already took $4,400 of profits because Aero went up by 448%. And so by this point, I was already pulling a lot of profit, and I wasn't taking on as much leverage because I wasn't as certain on the markets as I was when I took on leverage. That said, let's say you want to take leverage. Not recommending you do, but I want to answer this question. Let's say I want to get into this Wrapped ETH USDC pool. Typically, you'd be making 79% on Wrapped ETH USDC in fees on Aerodrome, which has a total value locked of $108 million. But let's say you want to use ExtraFi to take on leverage. Let's say you're really bullish on it, you want to go long, or maybe you're really bearish on ETH right now and you want to short, or you want to take a neutral strategy. You can earn up to 238%. 80%, 238%. You are taking on more risk, and you got to be aware of that. Let's say I wanted to do that with 0.5 ETH, or 0.05 ETH, because that's all I really got in here right now. So without leverage, I'd be getting exposure to around $160 worth of assets, right? 82 USDC and $82 worth of Wrapped ETH. So I'd be taking on around $160. I'd be exposed. I'd have $160 of exposure to this pool, and I'd earn fees on $160. If I wanted to take on Forex leverage, which again, I'm able to because I have the Wrapped Extra Boost, sometimes I'll degen some meme coin stuff because you can literally earn like 3,000% on it. And if I'm bullish on it, those numbers can get super ridiculous. So I do it with small amounts, but here now I have exposure to almost $700, $160, $700. And so I'll be earning fees on this $700. Now you do have to remember you are taking a bit of a loan out. So there is a bit of a repayment on that loan, which is where the yields for this stuff come from. And sometimes they're extremely juicy. And now I can select my strategy. Do I want to go short? Do I want to go long? Do I want to go neutral? ExtraFi has a great write-up about this. Long farming strategy. If you believe that the price of the non-stable assets, so in this instance ETH, will increase in the future, you can go long. Now, if you're wrong, you're going to pay the price. You got to be aware of that. What if the markets are really slowing down and you're super bearish, which, by the way, you can make more money in bearish markets than you can in bullish markets, oftentimes by going short, because when things start crumbling, they crumble fast, and a lot of people take advantage of those market conditions. Let's say you want to go short. Well, if you believe that the price of the non-stable asset, in this instant ETH, right? We have ETH and USDC. USDC won't move, ETH will. If you believe that the markets are cooling down or you're bearish on it, you can go short. And if the non-stable asset drops within a fixed price range, you will make a profit. And then you have market neutral strategy, which the fancy way of saying is pseudo delta neutral strategy, which is making it sound way more fancy than it actually is. Basically, it's going to go long and short, and it's going to reduce the risk by hedging out market exposure. Lucas, what are you talking about? It's pretty simple at the end of the day. Market neutral strategy is realized by opening one long position and one short position to achieve zero net market exposure on the volatile assets in the token pair. So instead of going just long on ETH or just short on ETH, it would go long on $300 of ETH and short on $300 of ETH in at least our example, right? So let's say you want to take a 3x on ETH USDC. So that's a perfect example. Let's say we want to go 3x on this ETH USDC pool. Where are we here? There we are. So to get started, you deposit a total of 400 USDC in this example, of course. The strategy works as follows. You would borrow 200 USDC, utilize 100 USDC from your deposits, and borrow 200 USDC. The position value will be 300 because we're taking 3x. Since the LP is a 50-50, you will have a $300 minus 150 cost. So 150 cost in the ETH long exposure. So you're $150 long on ETH. Then you'd be borrowing on the other side. Again, ExtraFi is doing all this for you, and you'd have a $150 shorting ETH. Now you get exposure to that 3x leverage in this example, or in our example, 4x leverage. And you get the best of both worlds, so to speak. This is what I did when I really didn't know a ton of what I was doing. And the downside to it is, yes, you're getting more of the fees, but you're not really getting a ton of exposure to the movement in the markets. Now, if you don't know what you're doing, that's fine. But when I looked at Arrow, which we were extremely bullish on because there was a bunch of news with Coinbase and this is 4 or 5 weeks ago, I was like, oh, I'm going long. And because I went long, I also got to ride the price appreciation like crazy, which is how I was able to turn these pools from over 4 grand to like 18 grand. I think it'll be 20 grand by the end of the week, especially with the fees I'm earning. I already collected $167 a day and $51 a day. And I had to reset all of this mid last week because I changed some positions. Anyways, and I am no longer taking on any leverage. That said, that's crazy. But you've got to be certain of which way the markets are going, if you're going to go long or if you're going to go short. You've got to be certain. If you're not, then A, don't take on leverage or just play with very small amounts. Or right now, like you can literally lend out some stuff, even stablecoin, for some ridiculous numbers, or you can go straight onto Aerodrome and get into all of these pools, all of these positions straight on the native DEX, which is Aerodrome in this instance because volumes on base are wild. That's basically leveraged yield farming. Not any different than taking on leverage anywhere else. Just remember that if the markets move up, if you're long, you're going to make a ton of money. If you went short and the markets went the other way, if it was bullish, but you thought it was bearish and you went short, you're going to lose a ton of money just as fast as you would have made it because you're taking on leverage. And if you are bearish on the market and you place a short, but the market goes long, the market goes bullish, the market goes green, you're shit out of luck. You're going to lose as fast as you would have gained. And so don't degen this stuff. I'll find an asset that I'm extremely certain on, and I'll take a calculated bet on it. But I have lost, and I have lost money doing this stuff. I used to use GMX a lot, and I would actually do some swing trading and sometimes with leverage. And when you can take on 50x leverage on some of these platforms, it's extremely attractive. Now, if you're only playing with a couple $100 and you want to gamble, it's a lot of fun. But if you're doing it and you can't afford to lose the money, I'd be careful navigating those waters. Really, really hope that helps. How crazy is this? $219 per day. Markets are going wild. We're doing 754% right now on SUI. So many people have been hating on me for the last few months. We've been yield farming SUI forever. They're like, you would have done better off just holding it. I'm like, no, I wouldn't. Not even close. Not even close. It's been in range for so damn long. I've made 100% return on this and more now. People are just close-minded in this game. It's wild to me. I hope this video was helpful to you in some way, shape, or form. I'll leave some videos up here and here and here and here. I'll leave some base stuff, how we added 6 figures to our DeFi portfolios. I'll leave maybe some member client wins because they're earning like $200, $300, $400 per day. We've got someone who's doing $28,000 per month right now. Wild. And I'll leave some other educational content down there. Do check it out. Let me know if I can help and support in the comments. Like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.